So just a bit of Civil War history for you Civil War buffs or history fans out there. It's important to remember now that a lot of 150th anniversaries are coming up that relate to the Civil War. Most people think the Civil War started in 1861, April 1861, firing on Fort Sumter. Well, you can make a case for that. But if you look back, and that'll of course be 2011, if you look back, well, the election of Abraham Lincoln and the southern states seceding, that certainly precipitated the war as well, and that'll be 2010. That'll be next year in November. But I think actually most historians agree, I think a majority of historians agree, that the real beginning to the Civil War was John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry. That was October 16th, 1859, which I believe was last Friday. And when you look at the raid on Harper's Ferry in the context of the history at the time, you can make a very good case for that being the beginning of the Civil War. In many ways, it was the ground zero for the South. It was the Pearl Harbor, if you will. It was the moment that the South saw that their security, their vulnerability was at risk, and that they had to begin to prepare to defend themselves. They were convinced that there would be other attacks, that there might be other slave uprisings, that there might be other people trying to arm their slaves and revolt against their owners. And just think for a moment, 4 million slaves living, many of them hostile to their owners. This was an extraordinarily frightening prospect for them. Also, if you look back at Nat Turner's rebellion from 1831, we know that that was still very clear in their memories. 54 people were killed that night. So it's important for any historical buff, any Civil War buff, to recognize that we now have inaugurated the 150th anniversaries of the Civil War, that October 16th now represents the beginning of that period, and that on December 2nd, actually, when John Brown was executed for the crime of treason, that will be the next important date in this series of events that will be going forward now right through 2015.